Good morning again, heroes. It's Monday and it's time to get on the grind. Not like we ever slacked off, but something that I'm going to touch on this particular episode, alright? So the idea is that, I had this interesting conversation, and I think last we spoke we had touched on the people that you spend your time around, né? And how you use that time and what you take from those people. So just looking at the weekend and what was happening, who were you with, who did you engage with, what type of conversations did you have, did it bring value into your life? So I'd like you to just sit back and kind of look at those interactions and see where they stand. I'm not saying you guys need to be perfect on first go as to who you engage with and how you engage with them. You know, I'm also still trying to work this thing out myself, but I also find that it's good to prep exactly who you're going to meet up with and why you're meeting up with them, okay? So that was the crux of last week's conversation, is that who do you spend your time with, and it's quite important. So I had a great interaction, I had a great time. I was meeting a lot of people over the weekend. So I did the 702 walk the talk, which was amazing. Obviously they would meet hundreds and hundreds, but which was great that I got to meet some people that I was actually trying to get a hold of the previous week, being like the second boss that we're going to interview, which I'll release exactly who that is later on in the week. But yeah, I had the opportunity on Saturday. I was washing the car and doing Saturday stuff, man. Weekend vibes, really chilled, trying to get everything done. The nitty-gritty stuff. So as I'm standing outside washing the car, a friend of mine, the guy who lives right opposite the house, he comes to me and is like, "Yo, man, don't you wanna, chill and share this Coke with me?" And I was like, "Okay, you know what? It's chilled. Well, just sit by and join me while I actually wash the car, and then you can have a conversation." You know what I mean? And we got to speaking on. I actually had to write this down. So he brought up a very good point, and then I got a quote out of it. So I'm going to share this with you. So it goes like so. Every day you need to stand guard at the gates of your mind, right? So what are those gates? And the whole idea is that you need to stand guard like that. That for me is crucial to what we're trying to achieve through this channel. So you need to be careful as to what you let into your mind, because once anything goes into your mind, it goes to your heart and feeds your desire, right? So gate number one that you need to stand guard at and make sure that you sift through the type of information that flows through there would be your eyes, right? So you need to pay attention to these type of videos, stay tuned to my channel, subscribe, like, share comments. But you need also make sure that, if you're gonna wake up in the morning, right, and brush your teeth and do all that stuff, and you're like, your brain is going to tell you, go switch on the TV, or switch on the laptop, watch a series or whatever, you know what I mean? So as you're doing that, you need to be cautious as to what type of information is going to be relayed by whatever medium that I'm going to be invested in. So if you're watching the news, majority of the news is bad. Economy is going down, we don't have land, and we don't want to share it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of it, there's racial tension, there's all sorts of that stuff that happens in the news. So do you want to avail yourself of that type of information? And once you have, how does it treat you? What is the output of that? If you're seeing people dying, if you're hearing stats about HIV/AIDS rising, and that breaks your heart, that breaks your spirit, what type do you think that there's going to be a positive outcome from you feeding yourself the type of information? No. And then also the second gate, which would then be, which is the most difficult one actually, is your ears, right? So your ears are always open. Every single day, 24/7, 365, up until you die, they'll be open and taking in information. So you then need to be very, on that gate, you need to stand guard hard, better make sure that nothing goes through that you don't approve of, do the relevant checks and balances in order for you to sift through the information, ensure that you only take in the stuff that's good, some things that you can use to make yourself better, to solve some sort of issue, or just to feel emotionally and spiritually at peace with yourself, you understand? So those are the two gates, and especially the ears, because once you hear something in your ears, it goes into your heart. Once it stimulates there, once your heart is stimulated enough, it shoots up all the way into your brain, hits your brain so hard that you got this fire, these connections hitting up, and these electrical waves buzzing in your head to a degree that whatever it is that you start now thinking about is going to feed into your desire. So, and then now that's what I want to get to, is that if you don't stand guard to your gates, a lot of information is going to pump through, hits your heart, does something to you, boils up like a chemical reaction, shoots up into your brain. Once it gets there, whatever that you had boiled up in there, you actually want to try and convince yourself emotionally, but your logical brain is going to put logic onto the emotions, you know what I mean? So once you have that, then it feeds your desire, and whatever output that comes out of there, you gotta be willing to take. You gotta take it, because those are the consequences. That's what's gonna be happening. That's the CFO. He's busy doing this. So anyway, so that's gonna feed your desire. So you need to be very cautious. You need to stand guard at those two gates. Those two gates are very important. What your eyes see and what your ears hear. And that's the type of conversation I was having with my neighbor, and which goes on to I think I actually jotted something here that I wanted to. So it says this. So I said success is intentional, and so is failure. So how that actually, to break that down, is that for you to be successful and for you to be a failure, it's all made up of small things that build up over time, which eventually become this massive event that is either the or failure. You understand? So let's look at it like this. For me, if I want to grow my business, if I want to grow my YouTube channel and the people who are actually watching this and the followers, is that I either need to do this on a daily basis. I need to ensure that when I wake up in the morning, I practice what I tell you guys. I read, I do my research, I consolidate that information, and I bring it back to you on a daily basis. You understand? So there's no way that I need to, if I slack off on that, that's me now feeding more the failure domino effect. So that's how it works. So success is a series of good things or rituals that you put in place in order for you to get to a point where it looks to the ordinary person as this massive event that just happens overnight, which then that's not the case. And failure is the very same thing, where the failure to make that call, the failure for me to come here and make these videos and speak to you guys, failure for me to make the research, to do the research, and the failure for me to have my battery charged, have enough space in the camera for me to do this video. Those are the type of things which will then effectively at the end result into this cataclysmic event that is now failure, and then, oh my God, what have I done? So we have to be cautious and have to be aware that every single step that you take on a daily basis, it will lead up to a big event called either success or failure. All right. So yeah, man, the weekend had so much to give to me, and I really want to give it all to you guys at one go, but I can't do that. But the time that I do have, which was now, I'll just leave you guys with that. So it's very important, like we said, just to have a young recap quickly, is that stand guard at the gates of your mind. The two gates that we spoke about would be your eyes and your ears. These work powerfully, and it's really hard to control. And obviously the whole idea, just to break it down overall, is that it's like a brain. It's like your brain is like, consider your brain like a garden, right? And this garden, if you have a garden, you're gonna water it every day, and you're gonna put the stuff there to make it, so that the veggies and whatever that you're growing, ivele kahle, and you're about to really bite into whatever it is. It's juicy, it's nice, but that's only because you've maintained it and you stood guard as to what is there. If there's a weed, you take it out. Some people smoke that. Sorry. But there's a weed, you take it out. And if there's like funny insects, you take the spray thingy, and then you make sure that nothing is going to harm whatever it is that you're growing there. So think of your brain in the same way as a garden, and you try to protect whatever goes in there. ensure that whatever is in there you cultivate, you nurture, so that it gives you the best of results. You've got nothing better than your brain, and this is a muscle that you just exercise, you work hard, and once it's activated and it's pumped up and it's gaining some weight and some momentum, then it's endless it's endless the possibilities as to what you can do with it, you know. So guys, thank you very much for sticking by this. Thank you for joining me today. Oh, McGregor, by the way, I've got this friend McGregor, so yes, I'm supposed to be cutting this, but McGregor, shout out to you, boy. It's been a long time since we've spoken. By the way, guys, McGregor, I met him in varsity. We used to share ideas, brainstorm stuff, and funny enough, he's not funny enough, but he's visually impaired, and I've always thought that this guy can see just through the stuff that he does. So we'll talk about that later. McGregor, shout out to you, buddy. Jack, I'm gonna get your instrumentals to put on this video. You know, let's help each other out. Let's do what we can do. And anybody that's got any ideas exactly to what else they want to see on these videos, but I'll give you guys exactly what's gonna happen this week, tomorrow. Just need to finalize a couple of things, and then I'll give you guys a short breakdown as to our first boss, his profile, what he's all about, our second boss, what is he all about, and what are we going to be discussing. Can't wait for that, and can't wait to see you guys again, right? So have a great morning, feel pumped, stay a hero. I'm Sandam Tiane, your host with the most.